Chris here, and in this video we are going back to the 1970s, the era of big hair and disco. We are talking about some action figures focused on 1970s characters in particular, or at least 1970s interpretations of those characters. So we've got one Spider-Man and we've got four Super Friends based on the cartoon of the 70s. So let's get into some 70s goodness. So as you can see, we've got a nice collection of kind of 70s focused pop culture characters. So we've got Spider-Man from the Marvel Legends line, and then we have four figures from McFarlane Toys Super Friends line. So some pretty awesome nostalgic characters. We're going to dive first into Spider-Man. So Spider-Man, of course, created in 1963 by writer Stan Lee and artist Steve Ditko. There's been a whole bunch of Spider-Man figures from the Marvel Legends Hasbro team over the last many years. This is a one that we didn't expect to see. I did mention this in my top 10/11 pickups of 2025 just as an honorable mention, but we'll give it a bit of a more detailed look here. So this is, as you can see, Spider-Man from the 1977 live action TV series, which only ran for a couple of seasons. There was also a movie that came out in 1977. So the live action series was a bit of a departure from the comics because of the budget and special effect limitations of the time. He was portrayed by Nicholas Hammond. J. Jonah Jameson was in the series as well, but basically Spider-Man just fought thugs and that kind of thing. There was no Dr. Octopus or Green Goblin or any of that kind of stuff, but certainly noticeable for getting Spider-Man on TV screens for sure. So yes, I love the packaging. Just it's got that lovely font 70s disco logo. You can see he comes with some web effects there, and we've got the what he looked like in the live action with his cool little goggles and a bit of a swinging backdrop, and again another shot from the movie or TV series. So yes, let's open this classic 70s Spidey. The figure itself is pretty articulated, as most Marvel Legends figures are. Probably get more posability than he ever showed on the live action show. But yes, the costume was relatively similar from the comics. It just had obviously the red and blues, and it had bit more of a chunky belt, different kind of eyes. The symbol was pretty much the same on the back and front, but yes, and he had a little like bracelet on his wrist. So this is a pretty accurate representation from what we saw on the 1977 Spider-Man. I always like the look of his mask. He's got kind of these goggly kind of eyes, which looked actually pretty cool on the show, so they've done that well to capture here. So apart from the actual standard figure himself, which I'm happy to say isn't like overly bulky or anything like that, and they've got the simplified webbing done down as well. It comes with a couple of accessories, namely a couple of like climbing relaxed hands, so you can just pull the hands off and put those on if you like. A couple of pretty pliable webs, so yes, they're not hard plastic or anything, so they're nice and pliable. So we actually get two of those, and we also get a piece of string which is pretty funny, but that's how he would shoot the webs in the TV show. He would just you just see like web or string kind of shoot out, so pretty cool. So I mean, this is a remake of or a reuse of the Japanese Spider-Man figure, I believe. So you'll see that there's like the hole in the back, which is a bit odd, and you also notice that there's the red hinges there. They should be blue on his arms, so that kind of breaks up the colours, which is a bit disappointing. But other than that, a pretty good figure and a good representation of the Spider-Man 1977 TV series and movie, and this nice little photographic backdrop of 70s New York or LA, whatever, is pretty nice touch as well. So there we go, 70s Spider-Man. So from 70s Spider-Man to 70s Super Friends. Super Friends was an animated series that ran from 1973 to I think 1985, based on the DC Comics properties of Justice League of America. So yes, so they had, in the first season they had like Wendy and Marvin, and they had a dog, and in later seasons in 1977 we had Zan and Jaina as the kind of the teenage sidekicks. So we've got those two figures there, and in the middle we've got Toyman and Cheetah, a couple of bad guys and girls So let's crack open these nostalgic Super Friends figures. All the Super Friends figures from McFarlane Toys have very limited articulation, and they've got that retro throwback feel, so not a whole bunch of accessories, and they've kind of got this similar blister package with a little burst there and the lovely logo and colours on the back. So there's nothing really on the back except a lovely picture, and this is the same picture on the back of all the Super Friends figures. You'll notice that there's no character name on any of the front, so if you want to know who these characters are, you have to look at the back and you'll see tiny writing. If you just look enough, you'll see the character name there, so it does kind of require some familiarity with the characters. But yeah, here is a classic Superman villain, Toy Man, in a bit of a different costume design there, but certainly reminiscent of the cartoon, and classic Wonder Woman bad girl Cheetah. Here is a look at Cheetah, and this is obviously the classic kind of look for Cheetah, where she's just a human dressed in a skin-tight cheetah costume, but actually pretty good. As I said, limited articulation because that's what these figures are going for, but that face sculpt is just awesome. And she's got the claws. They don't come with any swappable hands or heads, so these are a bit on the cheaper side. She does have a tail which is flexible, but no pivot point there, so you can't move the tail or anything. There's no hinge for it. And she also comes with a communicator. It doesn't it looks like a hip flask, but no, it's actually a communicator. But unfortunately, because she doesn't have any gripping hands, she can't actually hold it. So yeah, that's a bit of an oversight. Nevertheless, all these Super Friends figures also come with a bit of a trading card, or a collector card I guess, with the Super Friends logo on the top and the character name on the bottom, and just a bit of animation art there. And she, as well as Toyman, is from Series 2, which also consists of Superman, Flash and Captain Cold, which I'm not going to get all the figures from this line because I've already got quite enough Superman, Batman, Flash, Green Lantern figures. But yes, I've certainly got fond memories of watching this show. And here we have Toyman, not Toymate, which is a shop I often go to, but here we have Toyman. And again, same card on the back. He also comes with a communicator, which is done in a bit of a different colour actually, I notice, than Cheetah. So Cheetah's communicator is a bit more of a silver, as you can see there, but that's quite dull grey. He also comes with a pretty cool toy of Superman, almost like a voodoo doll or something like that. So that's pretty cool that he comes with that, just a simple figure. And here is Toyman. Just the lovely colours, and as you can see, he really represents the look on the show at the time. It's kind of this lanky figure with a bit of an odd costume. But yes, limited articulation. Nothing at the waist. Oh no, he does have waist and elbow and wrist and neck. But yes, and that's about it. So yeah, no double joints or anything like that. They're pretty simple in their articulation, but yeah, just wonderful. The McFarlane Toys are giving us the Superpowers line based on the Kenner 1980 Superpowers figures, as well as these here figures from the 1970s Super Friends cartoon. As I said, I'm not collecting all of the Super Friends line, but I did make a promise to myself that if I saw these two out in the wild, I would grab them, because, well, you don't really see Zan and Jaina action figures. So these characters first debuted in 1977 in the Super Friends cartoon, and the monkey there, Gleek, as well. They were basically aliens, and they had powers, and they would put their fists together and say, "Wonder Twin powers activate, form of," or whatever. So Jaina here, the sister, could transform into mythical animals or real animals, and Zan could transform into water or ice cubes or steam or whatever, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's pretty interesting superpowers that they have, and just the matching outfits and all that is awesome. You'll see that Jaina here is a platinum edition, and that just means effectively she's a chase figure, so not always guaranteed. So I saw one of these in JB Hi-Fi. I saw both of them, so I thought as long as I see Jaina as well, I'll grab them both. I found both at JB Hi-Fi, including the hard to find figure, so very happy to get those. Let's open up the Wonder Twins. Look at that glorious bowl cut, reminds me of my haircut as a youth. Attention to detail is great on these figures. They've got all the colours and emblems right, and both of the Wonder Twins have the pointed ears, which is cool. So yes, there we go. That's what Zan looks like. Bold colours, big belt, and I guess the same articulation as well. So head, waist swivel. These joints, as you can hear, oh, they are pretty tight, but again, just single joints, and you can tell that they use the same body because they've kind of got the underpants there, even though they don't have those in the character design, but they just use the same legs on each of these figures. So there we go. There is Zan, one half of the Wonder Twins, and again he comes with their little card with some delightful animation art. Doesn't have his name, just says his symbol, but anyway, we know who he is. And on the back we've got the others in this series 3 wave. So we've got an evil Batman, we've got the classic Brainiac, Jaina and Zan, Aquaman, and I think that's a kind of bizarro evil Superman as well. So pretty cool. He comes with the good guy version of the walkie-talkie communicator thing, which all the good guys do. And he comes with, and I did have to check this on McFarlane Toys website, yes, this is an ice wrench. So as I said, his powers are that he can transform into water or ice, and this is an ice wrench with his face on it. So it's a bit hard to see because it's so small, but that is his face. So he can transform into an ice wrench, and it's actually interesting because it's kind of flexible material for some reason, so it's not hard. But yes, an odd accessory, but at least he has 2 accessories. Can't complain about that. So there we go. One Wonder Twin down. And the other half of the Wonder Twins, Jaina, again, very similar costume. Lovely face sculpt with the lovely kind of beehive hairdo kind of thing happening. And even though they don't come with different alternate heads or hands, at least they've given them opposing fist bump hands, so they can actually activate their powers like they did in the cartoon. Wonder Twin powers activate form of or shape of or whatever. So that's a nice touch from McFarlane Toys. Again, the same articulation, and her joints are also a bit stiff, so not extremely poseable, but certainly goes with the retro kind of feel. And again, she comes with the, is she going to stand up? Probably not. No, she comes with the collector card with Gleek and the animation. She looks very happy there. And also from Series 3. And again, as I said, she's the Platinum version, so not necessarily easy to find as the others in that wave. Here's Gleek. I don't think he has any posability. Nope, he's basically just a slug of a figure, and he's got the G on his his face, so they're a bit of the space monkey and the teeth out the front there. So yes, pretty cool to get that. And she also comes with the same communicator that all the good guys in the Super Friends line do as well. So a bit more detailed than the bad guy communicator, you know, a few more buttons. So there we go, both Wonder Twin powers. Now time to activate. They look pretty good together like this, don't they? So there's 4 more from the ongoing Super Friends collection from McFarlane Toys. You'll notice that Jaina of the Wonder Twins is the only one with a stand, a figure stand. That's because she finds it very difficult to stand on her own, especially with those high heels. So just be careful of that. But yes, there's 4 more figures. So the Wonder Twins, Zan, Jaina, and Gleek, the monkey, and Cheetah, classic Wonder Woman villain, and Toyman, classic Superman villain. So thank you for watching all the way to the end. Let me know, what do you think about the Super Friends line? Are you a fan of the cartoon? Are you happy that they're finally getting cartoon accurate action figures? Or is these figures something that you will let pass you by? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next video. Goodbye, geeks.